Hi, my name is Kinsley and I'm going to be your instructor on this course. In this course, you're going to be learning everything you need to get started in designing professionally with CorelDraw. It's going to be a lot, but because we want to make the learning process easy for you, we decided to divide this course into 4 independent sections. Each section will be posted here on this channel every week till it's completed. Do well to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified when the next section arrives. With that said, we can move into what we have for today. In today's section, we will learn how to carry out basic operations on CorelDraw that we might have missed in the first and second section of this course, like the duplicate, rotate, undo and redo, copy and paste, mirror, powerclip, and others. Next, we will dive in deeper on lines and we will learn more line tools like the pen tool. We will learn more fascinating features of the shape tool, learn how to import pictures into CorelDraw, and to wrap up this section, we will create the popular Pepsi logo in this section. Well, welcome back to yet again another section of this CorelDraw course, Master the Tool. We've come a long way. I can't believe it's the third section of this course already. Big shout out to you guys that participated in the last exercise we did in the previous section. We saw your creative works and we're proud of what we've designed. And if you haven't seen the first and the second section of this course, I recommend you go and play that before you come over to this video. Links in the description below. If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. You better go right now and subscribe. You know what, I'll wait for you. Go and subscribe and smash that bell button so you get notified when the grand finale arrives. Alright, hope you subscribe. Have you? Alright, let's get started. Alright, welcome back. We're going to start off by learning how to rotate objects. To rotate an object, all you have to do is click on your pick tool, move over to the object, click on it, and click on it again. And you can go to any of the edges and you can click and rotate. Very easy. Another way you can rotate with CorelDraw is by coming over to this part over here and you can put in the value of the angle. Let's say 90 there. And CorelDraw can also allow you to do something like this. Add plus, say 30, that should be giving us 120 there. Now another thing I'm going to show you how to do is something called skewing. To skew an object, you do the same thing you do when you rotate an object, by clicking and then clicking again with your pick tool, and then next thing you do is go over to any of the sides. You can click, hold, and skew. The next thing I'm going to teach you in this lesson is how you can copy and paste in CorelDraw. All you have to do is come over to this icon here on the standard, click on it to copy and click on the icon next to it to paste. Now if you come over here, click, hold and drag, you see that you've succeeded in copying and pasting this object. Let's delete that. But there's another way you can do this, which I prefer, is using the keyboard shortcut. Just click on the object, then click Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Ctrl C is used to copy, while Ctrl V is used for pasting the object. Alright, now I'm going to show you how you can duplicate using CorelDraw. It's very similar to copy and pasting, but to do this, all you have to do is click on the object and then press Ctrl D on your keyboard. Here you set the offset value, let's say 0.3, and this leave it at 0.1, then click OK. Now when you press Ctrl D on your keyboard again, what's going to happen is that it will keep on copying and pasting this object, but it will retain the offset. Here is how you can mirror an object in CorelDraw. Simply click on that object Then you move over to the property bar. You see this icon over here, click on this. This will enable you to mirror your object horizontally, like so, while the icon by the side will enable you to mirror your object vertically, like so. Alright, here is how you can redo and undo actions in CorelDraw. To undo an action, simply go over to this icon here on the standard and click on it once. It will undo your move, and if you click on the icon close to it, it will redo that action. Now the keyboard shortcut for this is simply Ctrl Z and Ctrl Shift Z. There's one last very important thing I want to show you in this lesson, and that is something called powerclip. This is very powerful, and you're going to use it more frequent rather in your designing. To powerclip, all you have to do is highlight the object you want to place inside the other object. For example, let me show you with this illustration. If I click on this and press and click on powerclip inside and click on this object, now what happens is it takes this object and it places it inside this third object, this circle. Now powerclip is simply like a house that you can view through a window. You can think of the object that you're powerclipping items into as a window into a house. Now if you click on this and click edit powerclip, you get to enter inside, and you can readjust or re-edit the items inside it, and then you can click on this to stop editing the content, and then you move on outside into the main workspace. Now this will come in very handy as you progress in your designing and CorelDraw. Alright, in this lesson we're going to be talking about lines. We've done some sort of intro and lines in our previous lesson, I think in section 1. In this section we'll dive in deeper into lines. If you come over to this freehand tool over here and you click on this little black dot at the corner, it will reveal some other tools that you can also use in drawing lines. Now the one we've gone over is this freehand tool, and to draw a straight line all you have to do is click on the starting point, move to the final destination and click again. But this tool is very popular for making freehand sketches, and hence the name freehand. If you click and hold and move around, you'll be able to make some freehand drawing with this tool. Next on this one is something called Bezier tool. I'm not sure if that is how it is supposed to be pronounced, but that's what I'm going to call it. To use this tool is more should I say more advanced. Now this is how you use this. You can make point-to-point lines by clicking to start, you click to continue your line. Now if you observe, this thing does what the 2-point line and the freehand tool cannot do, which is to make several points, lines with several points, and you can create shapes with line tools like this. You probably must have heard me say something in the previous section that lines makes up a shape. When the starting point of a line meets the ending point, it creates a shape. Now if we come over here and end it here, it is a shape, so we can give it a feel, just recalling what we've learned in the previous section. Now another thing you can do with this Bezier tool is making curved lines. Now if you click this on the starting point, click this to create a straight line, click on the next point. When you create a curve, you click, hold, you drag, and it creates a curve. You can use this to make random shapes that your regular shape tool cannot provide for you. Next on this lesson is something called the pen tool, my favorite, and this is the reason for this lesson. It works exactly the way the Bezier tool works. You can make point-to-point lines with it, and you can also create curves with it. And remember, when the starting point meets the end point, it creates a shape. Well, there's something more fascinating about this tool. If after making a point and for any reason you return back to that point and you click on it, what happens is that it eliminates that node and it flows the line like the node never existed. In this lesson, we're going to be learning some fun stuff about the shape tool. We've learned a few things about shape tool in previous section, but in this section we're going to learn more fascinating thing and more interesting thing about this tool. And if you remember vividly, I said this is one of the most important tools in CorelDraw. I think I said that in section 2 of this course. We all know that when you activate your shape tool and you click on the rectangle, it allows you to curve the edges by clicking, holding and dragging this black dots at the extreme. Now that's not the only thing you can do with this shape tool. You can also decide to come over here and click on this, and that way instead of it to be curved outward, it's curved inwards. And you can also choose to use this, which is some sort of create some sort of inclined plane at the edges of the rectangle. Now that aside, there's still more fun stuff you can do with your shape tool. Now when you click on an object with your shape tool activated, you can come over here to object and click on convert to curves. Now this gives you some special function. This activates some inner function of the shape tool. Now notice that those black dots there are gone. Now when you click on this and drag, what it does is that it makes you handle these nodes independently, and you can do with it whatever you wish. And with this you can create some cool shapes that originally does not exist in CorelDraw. Now apart from that, there's more stuff you can do in this mode by double tapping on any point. You can create additional nodes and you can further edit the shape, and if you double tap on any nodes, it deletes the node. Another thing you can do here is you can click on any point in the line and you right click and click here to curve. Now this turns that line into some sort of curve, and you can further reshape this curve using these two probes that is provided here for you. While I was learning, this took me some time to digest. Just replay this video and I'm sure you're going to get it. This is super easy as soon as you get the hang of it. In the next section, we'll learn how you can import images into a CorelDraw document. We've been talking about shapes and lines and objects. Why don't you do something a little bit different? In this lesson, we're going to import an image. It's very easy actually. To do that, all you have to do is come over here on the standard and click on this icon to open your directory where you'll be required to look for the image you want to import. Now I want to import this image, click on it and click on import. Now all you have to do now, go on your workspace and just tap on it just once. Super easy. In this lesson, we are going to be creating the popular Pepsi logo together. Let's just go ahead and import a picture of the Pepsi logo. I'm going to start this by coming over here to create a square, like so, and then I'll use my shape to drag this all the way down to create a circle. Next, we're going to create the upper red shape. In this case, I'm going to use my pen tool to do that. I'm going to create something like this. Next, I'm going to create the lower shape, the blue one. Almost done. You can go ahead now and color them. Let me give this color red and get rid of the outline, and give this color blue and get rid of the outline. And next, I'm going to powerclip these two shapes inside the circle. Great. Let's get rid of the outline. It's looking ugly. Alright, and that's that for today's section, and bye bye.